Interesting about that Monday morning was I got to school and the young people came to me, actually, two young men, pretty upset, uh, and said to me, "Why didn't you tell me?" And I looked at them and I said, "Why didn't I tell you what?" And they said, "Why didn't you tell us you were going to get fired?"
Word was getting around campus that he was going to be fired. And I'm really not quite sure how students found out, but I remember sitting on the nurse's bench talking to two other friends who were upset about it. The question that we asked ourselves, what are we going to do? And we didn't exactly know, but in going to class in those next few minutes, we decided we'd start a petition and pass it from class to class in between halls changes. And that's exactly what we did. And, by the middle of the day, we had almost 500 signatures.
Of course, at that time, I had no idea what they were talking about. None of that information had been shared with me, so I was pretty oblivious to what they were talking about.
I think those initial signatures were a sign both to the administration and to students that we had the power to do something about it. That's what led to deciding that we first sit in the halls, and it was a bit unorganized. But we learned a lesson from that and got organized and started talking to elders in the community and started talking to some of the church groups. And told them this was a fight that we wanted to take on because we felt like this was an administrator that understood our students, understood us, and knew the community well, was someone who was from the community and needed to be in the school in a really volatile time when it was really struggling with a lot of issues.
Folks were calling saying, "Marcus, you better get ready. These young people are not playing. They are serious." And I think the most important part of it was they love you. They are not going to let you go.
So much of it was that he was one of a few male figures in the school to connect with the students and understand what they were experiencing at home, what they were experiencing in the classroom, what they were experiencing just socially in the school, and was able to talk with them and to them in a way that was both motivating but also an authority and someone that folks felt that like they could look to.
That bell went off, and what was interesting was young people started walking by me saying, "Don't worry, Strother, we got you. We doing this for you, Strother. They can't let you go. We're not gonna let them let you go." And I'm sitting thinking to myself, what is about to happen?
And I recall that day, if it wasn't that day, the next day, sitting out of a class to make a point and to send a message that we were unhappy, but it set the ball in motion, that we were going to do something and that we could do something, and that we were going to do it with a lot of support.
Over 700 young people sat down in the middle of the hallway, and they refused to go to class because they wanted me to keep my job. They would not move. They were not in any way anything other than peaceful, and they just made it clear, we're going to stay here and not go to class until we know that Strother's keeping his job.
I think it was the first time I realized you can do something about your environment. You can do something about and about holding leadership accountable. You can make your leaders do what you want them to do. And you can do it in community with other people.
They got a church in town to put up $1 million of insurance for them to have a march down the main street of our town.
But I know that this experience and having a victory in the experience was something that kind of set me on a course to knowing that I have that power and gave me agency and confidence to be able to do other things and navigate college.
They finally did announce that at the end of all this, I would be keeping my job, that the young people had won. Those young people saved my purpose. They helped me understand that at the end of the day, as long as I lead with love, I'll be okay. That young people were going to have my back, and I was going to be there for them in the way that I would have their back.
If you're mentoring someone, it should be someone that you hope can be a mentor to you later and that you want to have a lifelong relationship with. And so I think about it that way. And as I start to have mentees of my own, I think about how do I engage with this person and build a relationship with this person in a way that shows that I'm here for the long haul.
Being that one caring adult that I know young people need, want, and hopefully I'm the person that can provide some type of guidance as they move through life.
It was really a mentorship and a relationship that was intentional and about being there for the long haul and being helpful for the long haul. And I think having that trust and bind has allowed us to stay close.
Being a mentor, one, allows you to feel a very large amount of love for young people, but to also get that reciprocated from those young people really can change the trajectory of your life as an adult.